lore is sometimes what you could call a backstory. It's the history of a story that you're about to tell. So something that's usually happened off screen or something that's happened before a story starts, that sets expectations for a storyteller.
It's such a challenge, and it's a fun challenge to create like content, specifically narrative. And like as the entire franchise is growing with multiple games, board games, books, all sorts of exciting things. And trying to keep all of these things together, that's the tricky part. So what we do over here, when we introduce a new mob in Dungeons, how does that reflect in another game or in another book? Or could we ever bring it back to like Minecraft?
The biggest connection between vanilla and Dungeons is in the mobs, obviously, that we brought in from vanilla and translated those gameplay behaviors to a Dungeons context. The focus always when taking a mob from vanilla is trying to figure out how does it fit in the Dungeons context.
In Dungeons, you have a clear enemy, right? You have the evil arch-illager, and you're playing the game to defeat him. How do you go about that? How do you set up an interesting narrative, game mechanics-wise series of challenges?
When we started making Dungeons, we knew that we needed to focus on the illagers as sort of the main antagonistic force of the game. But since we're not telling the story of the players, but we're telling the story of the world, we needed some sort of emotional center in the world to hook onto. And that's sort of when we had the idea of the arch-illager, is he could be an emotional core for the story and something that drives it forward.
He became the arch-illager when he obtained the power of the Orb of Dominance, but before that, he was a misfit villager who couldn't fit in a normal villager society and found his power within a mountain.
So when I write, I always try to be as free and open to ideas as possible. I try not to censor myself or to sort of critique my own work as I'm writing. I try to leave that to later, because you never know where a good story or a good character is going to come from unless you really allow yourself to be open-minded when writing. The most challenging aspect of developing lore for Minecraft Dungeons was the same as I think the same challenge we all had, whether you were working on story or game design or art or sound or whatever. It's just the legacy of Minecraft and how many players play it and enjoy it and love it intensely. And you don't want to ruin that. You don't want to spoil that for people.
So to keep the dungeon story sort of growing over time, we want to continue to add stuff to the game, obviously. And Dungeons has a bit of a narrative. It's not super deep, super complex, but it does continue and grow, and there is a sense of progression for the player. So we're really looking forward to adding more to the narrative of Minecraft Dungeons and doing this together with the community.
So there's a lot about the ending that I like, the ending of Minecraft Dungeons. Hopefully players are going to walk away from it feeling like they did the right thing and it's not what they expected they would be doing. One of the biggest things it does well is setting up where we're going next in the story and in the things to come in the future. I hope the ending will make viewers happy. That's the biggest thing I hope for. I hope it will make people feel like they did the right thing as heroes.